Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for One Piece episode 802. That's right, I didn't do episode 801 for the obvious reasons that everyone can predict. Everyone has said before. It was just it was just a little bit of good stuff in the beginning and the end with just the middle being an entire flashback we've seen before. So yeah, it's not worth going over. Although I will say it is nice to know exactly how much leverage. It was nice to know in that episode how much leverage that the Ben Smokes actually have on Sanji now. So I guess it was good in that sense, but the rest of the episode was just a flop. And like I said before, I wasn't gonna do all the episodes if I didn't. I was gonna review all the episodes if I didn't feel there was something decent enough to talk about. But I do feel there's a lot of decent stuff in this episode to talk about because I feel that the one strength this episode has that I'm going to be going over a lot of in this review is that it added scenes into the episode that I felt were a lot of it was some interesting confirmation, I guess, in a way. Maybe it was. It's one of those things where maybe it's better as a lot of the scenes that were added to this episode is one of those things where you got to think maybe it was good as more of a mystery, but at the same time it is good to have this kind of confirmation as well. So let's just get into it. First off, I think it was just hilarious how much Nami has King Bomb by the proverbial wooden balls, so to speak. Just seeing Nami have King Bomb doing everything Nami wants. It's yeah, it's kind of cool. Although considering how the episode ended in terms of King Bomb, yeah, I don't think Nami's gonna have too much control over the situation after that. But yeah, but the one thing to note about this whole King Bomb and General Cracker stuff or Commander Cracker stuff is that um like like I said, as far as Toei's animation involvement, they actually added a lot of scenes and are extending this fight compared to how the manga played out. And in a way, as far as this particular fight goes, in a way, I see it from two perspectives. On one hand, yes, it slows down the pacing. That fact is an obvious, clear cut, an obvious, clear cut problem. But on the other hand, a certain part of me is actually kind of glad this fight was extended because it did slightly add to the threat of how powerful the Sweet Commanders are, especially near the end when, like I said, especially near the end when we see Cracker just kind of take one gigantic swipe of his sword and cut off the top head of King Bomb's like trunk or head or trunk or whatever. Just seeing him do that was kind of fucking badass. I'm not gonna lie about that. Yeah. So yeah, it is as far as the scenes with Luffy and Nami, King Bomb, and Cracker. It's one of those things where yeah, maybe it is slowing down the pacing, but I think what we get is actually a decent trade off, so to speak. And then I guess the big thing to talk about is with with the Germa, with the big reveal of the Germa 66 army in this one. Like, oh boy. So we learned that the Germa is made up of genetically engineered clones, and the one thing I did like about this reveal compared to the manga is that it was a little more clear about the appearances and origins of the clones because in the manga, I don't think it was as clearly revealed about who volunteered for, but who volunteered for the cloning experiments the, because the thing is like all in the manga all those soldiers look exactly like Virgo, and and that for a while created this whole big conspiracy thing about how Virgo more than likely about how Virgo more than likely had volunteered in order to be cloned, but by the whole One Piece community. And while that may still be and while that may still be open to interpretation, well, I'm not gonna say that isn't still open to interpretation. I think there is still a bit more of a clear. There was a clear kind of answer here is that it was only a few soldiers that actually volunteered for that actually volunteered for it was the cloning experience. Now, granted, it was said that they don't know about the cloning experience, the, but I guess they probably won't like. And you got to think like if they didn't know that they were being cloned, you got to wonder what kind of lie was told to them. I bet it was like one of those blood. It was one of those blood test things. Like the doctor said, we're taking your blood for testing or something, and then boom, clones. I bet it was like that, and yeah, it was probably pretty typical, pretty typical shit of how you trick someone in being cloned. I bet, but yeah, I do like how it was a lot more clear cut in this particular in this particular episode about the origins of the clones overall. To be honest with you, and we learn that Judge and Vegapunk knew each other, and that they were the ones who were and that they discovered this whole and that how the Judge and Vegapunk knew each other and how they were the ones who discovered the blueprints for the DNA blueprints of a human being and how to clone it. So it does actually give us a connection between one of the greatest mysterious men in all of One Piece, Vegapunk and Judge. And like honestly, this whole connection with Judge and Vegapunk, like just seeing Vegapunk's influence throughout the entirety of the One Piece world, honestly, like it makes it kind of like every time I hear Vegapunk's name or anything remotely connected to Vegapunk, it makes me say, "Okay, Oda, tell us, when are you going to reveal this man? Like, when are we going to get a full fucking reveal of Vegapunk, this man, this great scientist in the manga? Like, we've gotten little foreshadowed bits here and there and little silhouettes of him, but I just want a full on, like, I just want a full on fucking reveal of Vegapunk at this point. Like, I'm getting so anxious in order to see this guy in the manga, in the story already. But the full reveal of this guy in the manga, like I know it's gonna be totally freaking insane when I know I bet the reason why I bet when he is revealed it's gonna be totally freaking insane. Oda does things completely bombastically, so when it happens, yeah, it's gonna Oda's gonna be go totally nuts with us with Vegapunk's reveal, and I just can't wait. Yeah. Um. And another thing about this episode is they added a scene of a precursor to Niji beating on Cosette, which in a way I really enjoyed because like it adds to the characterization of just how much of a douchebag Niji is. Now, granted, the trade-off of that is that we do get rid of the mystery of if he did it or not compared to the manga, because the manga just kind of had Yonji just kind of teasing Sanji and saying, I don't know. That was basically what happened in the manga, but compared to the anime, we actually do get confirmation that yes, it was. We do get confirmation in the anime that yes, it was in fact Niji. So in a way, yeah, I can understand how there might be a bit of a split view. There might be a bit of a split view on that one because in the manga they left it a little more up to the whole a little bit more up to the whole mystery of it and if Niji actually did it or not, if it was any one of his other brothers who did it. But I can definitely accept it here because let's face facts. From what we've read of the manga, we know Niji's character. We know the guy is a fucking asshole. So yeah, I guess in a way it just kind of adds even. I guess in a way it is kind of pointless to add to a character you already hate, but it's Niji. It's completely harmless if you had more reasons to hate the fucker, so why not? But yeah, and at the end of the episode, Sanji, of course, manages to land a kick on Niji's face, and by God, was that definitely was that definitely was that definitely a very satisfying kick, but. Now, granted, this is they actually cut it off on the best part, and at next episode we are we are gonna get like a full-on little skirmish between Niji and Sanji, and I will admit that little skirmish is probably going to it's going to divide a lot of anime only watchers. But all I will say, guys, is that you have to I hope you guys, the anime only watchers out there, understand how much is stacked against Sanji. That's all I'm gonna say as far as what's gonna happen in the first couple of minutes of the next episode. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.